Hi, this is Brenda with WorkShopScraps by Brenda, and today I'm making a heart-shaped box for Valentine's baskets, gift baskets. I got the file. It's an SGV file that I purchased from the Silhouette store by Lori Whitlock, and it will look like this. It's not the finished product, but it's a big box. It's approximately about 5.5 inches. If you download it and print it out and cut it and just like it comes, but you can make it larger or smaller. But when you open it, it looks like this on the inside. And I put printed paper, digital paper that I downloaded and printed to put on here, and I use craft paper for the actual box. And so this particular pattern has like tan and brown in it, so to kind of match up the craft paper. And I inked the edges and the scallop part of the top of the box so that it could kind of bring in the red Valentine element. It's big. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in it, but there'll be some sort of goodies or something to finish off the basket. So when you download and cut out the pattern, you get these pieces. And they are all the same size, and you're going to use them in your box. And then these, you have a top of your box that comes, it cuts out like this. This is 2 pieces, and it has a tab on it that you connect them. And then this is the bottom of the box, and it has tabs that you connect these 2 long pieces, and these tabs here are scored already. So what I do, so I'm putting glue on the tabs, and I just put a dab of glue. This glue is very thick, see, just a dab, but I use this paper underneath because it gets a little messy. Now keep in mind that I have my tabs with the big gap in between at the top. And so this is your panel, and what I do is I have the it's best to probably do it with double-sided paper, but because you have to put some sort of paper on the outside for the tabs, I go ahead and use my pattern paper right side up, inside, the bottom and the lid, so that'll be one less sheet of paper that I have to use. And I actually have to look down inside to see if I've got it just right, so I gotta come off camera for a second. And what I do is I make sure I have the bottom portion and the side of portions of the heart flush to the box. And because my glue is not quick drying, see, like that, because my glue is not quick drying, it gives me the chance to rub it in so that it glues and adheres. You can use your hand, or you have another type of tool that can mash that down without you press that down without you getting messy. Sometimes I use the end of my Cricut spatula too, because it's sort of rounded and flat on one end, or I use the end of my Martha Stewart craft knife because it really gets along the edges. And because this is my, I think, 4th box, it's really my 5th. I tried doing this late last night when I was tired, and I don't do well when I'm tired. I need my sleep. But when I was tired and it wouldn't seem to get right, and after I had a good nap and rested and paid attention and followed directions, I realized that I didn't have the tabs turned the right way to ensure that my box would turn out good. Okay, so when I get to this part, glue is still wet. I push this folded section that had the tabs in it all the way in inside the heart. So I hope you can see that. And then I'll kind of want to mold it. And what is happening, and which has happened before, is I have this big space. And if I get the space, I don't start over. I do my best. But what happens is, if my outside heart that I put on outside the box won't cover it, I just trace it by hand on pattern paper and cover it. It's not the best practice, but it works. I don't want to start over. Like, I see a gap in this one. But I'm going to continue on with the gap and do better next time. It still looks good. It's not messed up. It's just not perfect. Any glue that's in, I just use a paper towel to dry it and hold this. Now what I didn't tell you is I went ahead and inked my edges on my heart so that they look finished. And I'm really kind of molding my box as much as I can to this V part of the heart. And rubbing the tabs down well so they stick to the paper. And then I'm going to turn it over. And so you can see right here is where the point of the tabs didn't get all the way inside the box, but that's okay because that will be covered. This heart may not cover it because I traced it beforehand, and you see there's a space there. So what I will do is trace another heart. It's a little wasteful, but I'm making enough that I will be able to use this either on the inside of another box or outside of another box. And you do the same thing with the top when you're making the top. And because I don't want this video to be too long, this is just what the top looks like. And so if you see, this paper does not show this gap. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little tiny little space there that you can see inside the box. It's because what I did is I turned my pattern paper right side down on my table, put my box on top of it, traced around it, cut it out by hand, inked the edges, and glued it over so I could be assured that it would cover the box. And I did the same thing if I needed to for the top and the bottom. So I'm doing several. They need to be embellished. On this one, I used the Cutterbug mini heart folder and embossed this. I use cardstock. It looks like one piece, but I just use another craft cardstock of the same paper that I made the box out of, and I use that mini heart Cutterbug folder. It's called Love Language, and embossed it, and I took my ink pad and just lightly ran it over the bottom just to give it some texture. And this is another one of those papers, digital papers, that I downloaded from, it wasn't the Silhouette store, it was the Jessica Sprague site, jessicasprague.com. They have a $1 Wednesday. That on Wednesdays you get a lot of different pattern paper packs or element packs that you can use. They're usually $1 or $2. They're very minimal. And so it was Valentine's, and I didn't have any really Valentine paper, so I downloaded a couple of packages, and that works well. They'll be in the gift baskets that I give. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much. If you have questions, please feel free to ask and leave a comment and subscribe. I look forward to my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.